Hi, welcome to my Everyday Nutrition program. I am thrilled that you chose to enroll in this program. My name is Anita and I'm the owner of Everyday Nutrition Associates. I've been a registered dietitian for over 30 years. I'm a certified diabetes educator and an exercise physiologist. I currently am in private practice and I've been doing that for 8 years. When I was first a dietitian, I worked in hospitals, and I thought that if I could educate my patients on what they needed to do to make themselves healthier, then they would do it. And I quickly learned that that really wasn't the case. What I needed to do to help my patients is to help them understand not only what their nutrition needs were, but how were they going to implement it. What were the changes and the switches and the problem solving that were going to help them make those changes and make it lifelong. So if you've ever tried to make nutrition changes in the past and you haven't been successful, it's not your fault. For over 40 years, we've been given information of what we have to do, what we can't do, what we should do. And guess what? Every person needs to develop their own plan. So this comprehensive program does just that. We're going to take this step by step and build the foundation. Why? Because there aren't any have-tos, there aren't any can'ts. We want to have a positive relationship with food that's ours. And every person needs to have their own nutrition plan. I had a client once who came into my office and told me about his neighbor that he had run into. And his neighbor told him that he was on a really strict diet. He couldn't eat this, he had to eat that. And my client said to him, "How long is that going to last?" And his neighbor said, "I don't know." Well, 2 weeks later, they were back in the backyard again, and they ran into each other, and my client's neighbor said, 2 weeks. My client said, "What does that mean?" He goes, "I could only stick with that strict plan for 2 weeks." And so it's not about making short-term changes, it's about making long-term changes, and it takes time. So this program is going to help you with that, segment by segment. So whether you're enrolled in this program to help lose weight, to help maintain weight, lower your cholesterol, eat healthier, lower your blood sugar, or prevent prediabetes, it all goes in the same direction. It's about understanding what general nutrition is, how do we solve problems, how do we use our toolbox. You're going to learn about that in just a little bit. But it's about making those changes step by step. And the beauty of this program is you can do it in the comfort of your own home. I decided about a year ago to put this program together so that for people who didn't have health insurance that would cover a visit with me in private practice, or someone who lived far away, that they could get the benefits of what I've been developing for the last 20 to 30 years. And as I said, in the comfort of your own home, relaxing, and it's not going to take a long time. Most of these segments are around 5 to 6 to 7 minutes. I like to get my information quickly so we can move on to the next thing and maybe go out for a walk. So this comprehensive program has lots of different topics, and what we're going to talk about are the big picture, problem solving, the toolbox. How do we get dinner on the table in 5 minutes? What are we thinking? What's portion distortion? How do we maintain long-term success? What's the new label law? Those are just some of the topics that we're going to talk about. And your handout and your notebook will be a great resource to support everything that we're going to talk about. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to think about is, does it make sense? Because we're bombarded with nutrition information from all areas, the TV, magazines, the internet, many people just don't know what to believe. So my answer to that is, does it make sense? A couple of years ago, a client came into my office and she said, "My coworker wants you to look at this diet and tell me what you think." And I said, "Sure." And so I looked at it and I said to her, "Does it make sense that it says here to eat less sugar and less sodium?" And we both nodded our head. Yes, it does. And then the next one was, "Don't eat any legumes." And I said, "Does that make any sense not to eat any kidney beans or chickpeas?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Right. So take from something that you hear what makes sense. And remember, everyone's plan is going to be different. So to get started for the next week, think about, does it make sense if you hear some nutrition information? And now, what about the why? Why is it that you enrolled in this program? Why do you want to make changes in your food intake? That becomes very important. And I think about my why every day, and sometimes more than once a day, because this is why you've enrolled in the program. This is why you're going to move forward. So when you hit a bump in the road, you go back to the why. Think about what your current habits and routines are. What is it that maybe you want to change or modify? And think about whether or not you want to keep a food log. Because again, it's going to be different. Maybe you want to get started on a food log just to see what's happening over the course of the day. So, until we meet next week, think about, does it make sense? What is my why? What is it that I want to change or modify in my food choices? Please feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm here for your support. So, enjoy the journey. Enjoy making food choices on your terms. And have a great week.